Hey guys, welcome to the third episode with it. I have my friend Andrey,
Yeah,
one of the first friends I made at my college. Actually, the first time hanging out in a while. So thank you again for driving out here and filming this pod.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So I guess like my first question is, I guess when it comes to like, I guess the school you went to and stuff, what are some of your favorite like memories there?
Uh, Going to college was a interesting experience
Hmm.
in general
Oh yeah, definitely.
because before that I was homeschooled for all of high school,
Yeah.
and before that I went to a Mennonite church and school for like 7, 8 years.
Okay.
So going from those types of environments to then going to like a college was very new, very different experience. Um, I would say the first thing that comes to mind, like the happiest or most well known memory I would have of Central Penn,
Mm.
was we were in the cafeteria, I believe,
Yeah.
or I was there doing something, and then you were there, and somehow we kind of started
Oh yeah.
talking, and then you guys, I don't know if you asked or if I asked, but somehow the topic turned to vapes and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and then I told you like, oh, that one locker upstairs
Yeah.
that I'm like renting out, I got like a whole bunch of vape stuff in
Yeah.
there, and you guys wanted to see it, and then I took you there, I unlocked it, and you guys just couldn't
Mm.
believe how much vape stuff I
Yeah.
had, like mods and tanks and
Yeah.
just bottles of juice in
Yeah.
there. So it was really cool because
Yeah.
like I was like making friends, and I
Yeah.
wasn't really doing that very often at that time, or
Hmm.
meeting new people, and it just something clicked, and here we are, like however many years
That was probably like,
later.
what was that, like two? What do you think? That might have been like
Three,
22, 21, 22. I'm thinking probably,
twenty-two, 23,
I think it was probably 21 or 22. I think it was
maybe,
probably,
actually,
because
yeah.
I remember in 22, that's when I left. I went online that semester. I remember we were like
Oh,
friends around that time too. I remember like we were
okay.
talking about, that's when I lived in like the apartments and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
That was
yeah.
like early 22, and we were friends before that. So yeah, that's crazy. Time fucking flies.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
And then that one time I went into your apartment,
Yeah.
and we hot wired that one disposable,
Oh yeah.
and your roommate thought it was that we were like building a bomb
Oh
or
yeah.
shit. That was funny.
Yeah.
uh,
That was like OG, like just a prank, bro. Camera right there, camera right there, camera one two. No, but yeah, there was definitely some good
mm,
memories there. Like I
yeah.
will say, I'm very glad to like never touch homework or never do an entire assignment again. But I do miss like the friends and the people and stuff. But I'm overall very happy with where I'm
Mm-hmm.
at now and stuff. But yeah, those were
Yeah.
definitely both some very
Yeah.
fun memories, especially like when you're used to like being like homeschooled and stuff, and then you're like
Mm-hmm.
going to a college with like more people and stuff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
definitely sounds like it could be like a
Yeah.
change for sure.
Yeah. You have actual teachers
Yeah.
instead of like watching videos of like pre-recorded videos of, for example, your algebra teacher
Yeah.
trying to teach you something, and then it was very frustrating because if you don't understand something, like you have to rewatch it, you put a plus sign instead of a negative or something,
Yeah.
and you screw up the whole problem, so now you have to redo it, but you don't know exactly where you messed up. But if you have a teacher, they can kind of quickly give you back feedback,
Yeah.
or you can go over the problem with them and they'll quickly point out like, oh, you messed up here, so
Yeah.
pay attention to this a little bit later on.
Yeah, for sure. I think like even for me, it was kind of like the opposite. I went to like a very big high school, so like Central Penn
Oh,
was
okay.
very like there was like probably 400 to 500 people per class in the high
Mm-hmm.
school I went to. Where Central Penn, it's like I don't even know if there's 400 or 500. I mean, probably in total there is because like commuters,
Oh, yeah.
online students,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
and that's what made me like want to go to Central Penn at first was like it's not too far, not too close from home.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I went to a really big high school. I'm gonna go to like a smaller college, see
Mm,
how that was. So like
yeah.
it was a big change for me too, for like a little bit of a different reason. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess the next question I want to ask was like I know like you believe in like God and stuff. How long have you like if you want to like talk about your spiritual journey a little bit? How long
Mm-hmm.
have you believed in God? And then like yeah, like how long have you believed in God? Like what do you remember like how old you were? Do you remember what it was that like clicked with you and stuff like that?
Yeah, interesting question. So I was always raised in a very Christian household.
Mm-hmm.
So from like the earliest age I can remember, I always remember going to church, reading the Bible. When I went to that Mennonite school, obviously that was a very big part of their curriculum. Like we had devotions in the morning. We sang like Christian songs. We had Bible studies. We would memorize verses, a whole bunch of stuff. Um, so I always knew about God. I always believed in the existence of God. I always believed that, if you want to get to heaven, there is only one way to do that, which is through Jesus Christ. Um, but there were various like situations in my life where early on I would be very angry at God for letting certain things happen or not letting certain things
Yeah.
happen. And I guess because of that, I maybe even you could say held a grudge
Yeah.
against God because I naively thought, or in my very emotional state, I thought that I maybe knew better, or maybe I was too selfish in my desires. Um, so eventually, what led me to repenting of my sins and accepting Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior is I was at a youth conference. Um, I believe it was in Massachusetts. Weekend of it was the third weekend in May, I believe. Uh, I don't think it was. Well, maybe it was last year.
Okay.
I think it was last year where I was at the youth conference and I knew I had to make a decision whether I would follow God or not, whether I'd follow Jesus Christ or not. And I remember that those few days of the conference, like I was a complete wreck leading up to my to the point of where I repented. I remember like I would walk through the church building. I was drinking a beer,
Okay.
but like the can, everything's written in German, so
Oh yeah.
nobody's gonna understand like that's written on it.
Right.
It wasn't too high in alcohol, so you couldn't really smell it. But
Yeah.
I was like walking around the inside of a church drinking beer while I was pondering like this question, like, oh, should I give my life to God or not?